Today's story takes us to the quiet town of Clearfield, Colorado, where an all American family's picture perfect life hit a dark and disturbing reality. What seemed like a dream to those on the outside masked a sinister secret that would change everything. As we unravel the story of the Marlowe family, prepare yourself for a journey through deception, betrayal, and the unthinkable actions of a man who went to horrifying lengths to escape his own life. The story of the Marlowe family was one that seemed like a movie, one of love, tragedy, and deception that unfolded in the small, unsuspecting town of Clearfield, Colorado. Emily Marlowe, a vibrant young woman with a heart full of dreams, was the kind of mother you'd expect to see in storybooks. With her two daughters, Sophie and Lila, Emily filled her social media with sunny photos of their life together, bright smiles at birthday parties, holiday celebrations, and family vacations. Her husband, Dave Marlowe, was the quiet, unassuming type, a tech worker in the nearby oil fields who kept mostly to himself. On the surface, they were the picture-perfect family, the type that made neighbors envy their life and people stopped to say, "What a happy family." But sometimes, pictures lie. One warm August morning, Emily was due back home from a weekend business trip, expecting to reunite with her family. Yet that day would unfold very differently. When Emily's friend Lisa didn't hear from her by midday, worry started to build, and she quickly reported her concern to the local police. Police officers arrived at the Marlowe house on Maple Street, only to find it eerily silent. Emily's personal belongings lay untouched. Her purse, her phone, and even her car sat abandoned in the driveway. Dave Marlowe answered the door with an unsettling calm, explaining that he had no idea where Emily and the girls were, speculating that perhaps Emily had taken the girls for some time away. But Lisa was insistent. Emily would never leave so suddenly. The police, sensing something was wrong, began their investigation, and the deeper they looked, the more troubling the story became. Days passed without word of Emily or the girls. Dave's unusual calm started to crack under the pressure, especially after a key piece of evidence surfaced. A neighbor's security footage captured Dave backing his truck into the garage in the early morning hours, staying for almost an hour before driving off alone. When questioned, he claimed he had been loading up for work, but the footage was too peculiar, too suspicious. The police pressed him harder, and his composed exterior began to fray. In a breaking moment under questioning, Dave confessed, his mask of normalcy shattering as he described the events of that night. Dave admitted that in the dark early hours, he and Emily had argued. She had discovered that he was leading a double life, secretly involved with another woman, and that he no longer wanted to be tied down by family obligations. The argument escalated until, in a moment of chilling detachment, Dave claimed he just couldn't take it anymore. He took Emily's life in their bedroom while their daughters slept down the hall. It was a brutal, calculated act, and it was only the beginning. The confession continued, horrifying detectives. He described how, after ending Emily's life, he bundled her body into his truck. Sophie and Lila, awake and frightened, were confused as they saw their father preparing to drive. He loaded them into the car under the guise of a night adventure. But instead of a trip to a park or a relative's home, he drove to an abandoned oil site on the outskirts of Clearfield, a desolate area shrouded in shadows and silence. At the site, he buried Emily in a shallow grave near the truck. Then, in an almost robotic manner, he placed Sophie and Lila in separate oil tanks, concealing them from the world. The cold-heartedness of Dave's actions, his sheer lack of remorse, sent shockwaves through the town and the nation. The story was a nightmare unfolding in real time, and the small town of Clearfield became the center of media frenzy. Friends and neighbors who had once seen Dave as quiet but good-natured were horrified by the double life he had hidden so well. During the trial, further disturbing details emerged. The evidence showed that Dave had been planning this new life for some time. His need for freedom from family responsibilities had driven him down a dark path, and he had convinced himself that there was only one way out. In November, Dave Marlowe was sentenced to multiple life terms without parole. His callous disregard for the family who had loved him left his community shattered and his friends and family broken. Emily's closest friend, Lisa, tearfully told reporters that she couldn't reconcile the loving father she had known with the monster that lay beneath. The Marlowe tragedy became a haunting legend in Clearfield, a reminder of the devastating truth that the human heart can sometimes hide unspeakable darkness. Even now, people who drive down Maple Street feel a shiver, haunted by the memory of the beautiful family that once lived there, and the secrets buried deep in the shadow of a husband and father's betrayal. This is the story of how appearance can hide a fractured reality, and how love, when poisoned by deceit, can end in the darkest of tragedies. Tragedies like that of the Marlowe family remind us of how little we sometimes know about those closest to us. This story leaves a haunting question. What happens when the people we trust and love most wear masks that hide their true intentions? As the story of the Marlowe family drifts into the annals of infamous crimes, let's remember the lives lost and the painful reminder that even the closest bonds can hold unspeakable darkness. If you found this story impactful, please like, share, and subscribe